Good day, NBA fans. I don't know if it's such a good day. Anyway, NBA fans, we have to start with an absolute chaos that erupted at the Spectrum Center last night. What began as a physical game between the Detroit Pistons and the Charlotte Hornets turned into a full scale melee in the third quarter, leading to four ejections and what will surely be a heavy wave of league fines today. So just take a look at these highlights. Nonetheless, the Detroit Pistons won 110 104. But do you want to know what really happens in the fight or in the game? Okay. With about 7 minutes left in the third, Detroit Jalen Duren was driving hard to the cup when he was wrapped up by Musa Diabit. Duren clearly didn't like the extra contact. He turned around and the two players went head to head. And then Duren took a swipe at Diabit's neck. From that, it was powder keg. Diabit charged back. Hornets forward Bridges sprinted in and threw a punch at Duran. But the real oh no moment came when Detroit's Isaiah Stewart, no stranger to this situation, charged off from the Pistons bench to protect his teammate, lunging at Bridges. When the dust finally settled, official ejected Duran, Diabete, Bridges, and Stewart. The Pistons, however, managed to hold on for a 112-86 win, but the story today isn't the score. It is the impending suspension for Detroit's team that is currently sitting at an impressive 38 and 13 record. That is such a crazy moment. The Charlotte Hornets was actually on a streak, so well, the Detroit Pistons are back. They're the bad boy Detroit. So I don't know if you've seen the other highlights, but that's all I can afford for you right now. Let me give you other updates in NBA basketball. Since I'm a Boston Celtic fan, let me go ahead and tell you I am very positive of this news for the Eastern Conference. There's finally a light at the end of the tunnel for Jason Tatum, the Celtic superstar who has been sidelined all season recovering from torn Achilles. And he took a massive step forward yesterday. Tatum participated in a controlled 5-on-5 scrimmage for the first time while coach Joe Masula is being cautious. The fact that Tatum is back on the floor is a scary thought for the rest of the league. Boston has stayed afloat without him, but adding an NBA All Star and Jason Tatum back to the rotation would actually make it real for the NBA, especially in the Eastern Conference. So let's watch out. We are, from my perspective, I think Jason Tatum could return if the Boston Celtics become a legitimate contender in the playoffs. So I I don't foresee him in the regular season. Nonetheless, again, we see a potential for the NBA for the Boston Celtics to be a top contender for the championship. So that is that. Well, in other news, the deadline dust has just been settled, and the Los Angeles Lakers are still making moves to shore up their depth. The Lakers officially signed Kobe Buffkin to a 2-year deal. Yesterday, LA is trying to stabilize their backcourt and they prepare for a heavy playoff push alongside LeBron James and Luka Doncic. Speaking of news ashore, we didn't see Giannis get traded, but at least Bucks is making a move. Cam Thomas has officially found his home after being waived by the Brooklyn Nets last week, which is, I got to scratch my head on that one. A move that shocked many given the scoring pedigree Thomas has signed with the Milwaukee Bucks. Thomas, who averaged 15.6 points this season in Brooklyn, will join Giannis Antetokounmpo to provide that instant offense in the Bucks lineup. And we all know that Giannis has been looking for that help, especially on the offensive side. Let me also give you other news in the National Basketball Association. I think this is a much needed thing that we should all do here at Powcast Sports since we want to really cover National Basketball Association. So, good news and bad news. Stephen Curry has officially been ruled out of the upcoming All-Star game due to a runner's knee. He is expected to rest through the break to be ready for the Golden State push for the playoffs. That's too bad for fans that have been waiting for Stephen Curry. Anthony Davis Yeah, this is something that you want to know. Recently traded to the Washington Wizards in a blockbuster move, is expected to make his Washington debut later this week. So there was some fake news coming around on social media that Anthony Davis will be resting for the rest of the season, but this is a positive news. Okay, and by the way, keep an eye on the Indiana Pacers. Terrible news though. There's a rookie, Johnny Furpey, has reported to suffered a torn ACL, and that is a season-ending injury. So that is just so bad. But I am looking forward for to Ivaka Suba playing for the Indiana Pacers. I just saw the media press conference, and I think that's all I can provide for you today. That's the latest news, 24 hours, wild news in the NBA. And again, we'll be watching the NBA closely moving forward. And let's update you tomorrow on what is the status of the Detroit Pistons and Charlotte Hornets brawl. How long, how many days will they be suspended? And if you are an NBA fan, Philippines or non-Philippines, please join me moving forward as I do NBA updates on a consistent basis. Thank you very much, guys. Let me know what you think about the brawl, though.